Hello, everybody. What's happening Wednesday?
What's happening Wednesday, indeed.
In the car.
In the car, guys. We are driving
home
from the store.
We had to get stuff. We're home from the comic store. Got a lot of stuff.
We got a lot of comics.
Jonah Hex #1. Just saying.
That was not a Jonah Hex #1.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, from the Palamodi run?
Yes, it's a #1.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, see, the thing is with our general public, the people that generally listen to our show, if you say Jonah Hex #1, they're assuming Jonah Hex #1.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Okay, which you have.
Yes, I do. I have that too.
Yeah, you have that one as well.
Yes.
And so yeah, he's equipped.
Okay, what are we talking about today? Because we don't have super lots of time because it doesn't take long to get home.
Well, the thing is what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, we talked about some of the earlier episodes of the show
called The
Mandalorian. But we haven't really talked about it all that much since. And we're going to talk about the season finale that just dropped last night.
Yes.
And by last night, we mean 3 in the morning, because that's when we watched it then. I don't typically stay up and watch it, but I was already awake, and so I watched it with him, and so we got it watched.
Yes.
We got it watched, and
Gotta say.
Feel
a little let down.
The term I want to use is underwhelmed.
Just underwhelmed. You know what, though? I built it up in my head how awesome it was going to be, and I knew I shouldn't do that, because every time I do that, it's not what it is.
We had thoughts on what might happen,
and absolutely none of those happened.
And absolutely none of those things happened. I know Joe had talked to me personally about his thoughts that the armorer was played by Emily Swallow, was a spy.
Yes, I had. Man, I knew it in my heart of hearts too. I still think she might be.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
If you haven't watched Mandalorian, get out of here.
Okay, guys. Spoilertastic episode. If you haven't watched Mandalorian, like Joe said, get out of here, go watch it, come back. Okay, but spoiler alert, Emily Swallows, the armorer, was not, repeat, not a spy that we know of at this point. In fact, she acted badass.
Yeah, she was pretty badass.
And
even though I don't like cults.
I don't like cults, but she was badass. That was one of the things. He thought she was a spy. I thought some of the Mandalorians that were still on Mandalore that they found in the last episode were spies.
Turns out the name of the whole freaking episode was a red herring.
It was a red herring, because we were thinking the name of the previous episode was The Spies. And we got introduced to the fact that girlfriend from Moff Gideon's ship was a spy. But turns out it should have probably just been called The Spy.
Yeah, but it had us talking all week.
It had us on the edge of our seats waiting to see what happened. Well, last time on the show, at the end, it was also not looking good for Din Djarin.
Yeah, you know what? I think that was kind of wasted too, but
I think that at the end of the last episode, there were risks, there were things that could have happened that didn't. Part of me is happy they did not, and part of me is like, man, that would have just turned it all on its ear if Din Djarin was killed. It would have been a clear and concise moment and a clear and concise message that it's called The Mandalorian because we're dealing with Mandalorians in general. However,
then it would be plural.
However, spoiler alert, Din Djarin lives in a really awesome fucking. I'm gonna give the scene with the fight between Din Djarin and Grogu, starting with them, right? And Moff Gideon. I'm going to give that, 4 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, that was good.
And you know what? It kicks it up a notch to 5 stars when all of a sudden bo-katan just like flies in there and just like plows into Moff Gideon. And we have an epic battle between the guards, Moff Gideon, Din Djarin, Grogu, and Miss Lady Bo-Katan Kryze.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Pretty dope.
Okay, guys, if you didn't already know, I am a Lady Bo-Katan Kryze stan.
Yep.
I have been for a while. Liked her even when she was evil. Yes, indeedy. I love me some Bo-Katan. Anyways, so Bo-Katan, when they bring in more Mandalorians to help, because of the problems they were having, she kicked some major ass. And like Moff Gideon is like just reaches out and like crushes the fucking Darksaber. Like she does not have the Darksaber anymore. And he makes some crack about, now what are you gonna do? You don't even have the fucking Darksaber. And she's like, Mandalorians always are stronger together. And then Din Djarin helps her win the fight. And then their fucking ship just kind of crashes down.
No, not just kind of. Ex-Wolf's freaking.
Ex-Wolves.
He aims the ship for it, man.
He aims the ship.
That guy's awesome.
and gets out okay. Ex-Wolves is presumed okay. He aims their big commandeered imperial
the
ship.
light cruiser.
Yeah. Moff Gideon's ship from the previous season. And take out Moff Gideon, and this absolutely beautiful moment with, oh my god, like Bo-Katan. First off, like I absolutely love Bo-Katan. I'm Stan. Okay, I've said it.
Telling him this.
I keep telling him. She comes up, and right away, I love how she like brings her shield in, like it's gonna help Grogu when all the fucking fire and everything is all around. But it's okay, guys, because Grogu,
forces are way out of it, man.
he uses the Force in a really badass way in shields.
Just like Kanan with the fire at that time.
Oh my god, yes! I wasn't even thinking of that.
Kanan didn't make it.
I know. Sad. Anyways.
Spoiler alert for Rebels.
Spoiler alert for Rebels. You get to the end. Kanan isn't there anymore. Yeah, but he shields Din Djarin and Bo-Katan from for not getting hurt. Like, because seriously, if he hadn't have done that, Bo-Katan and Din would have been done.
Yeah. Everybody
would have been done. Standing right there, regardless of Bo-Katan, using her shield to shield Grogu. But yeah, he uses his badass abilities. And something really cute where apparently Grogu has been a part of a foster program this whole entire time.
Yeah.
Din Djarin wants Grogu to go ahead and take the creed, but Grogu can't speak yet. Okay? So, the armorer's like, he can't take the creed, man. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You can't speak. So Din Djarin officially adopts him and brings him up to the level of apprentice. And so they go off and they decide that they're going to, the armorer's like, okay, so dude, you go off and do your apprenticing and your journeys and all that. And he goes off and visits some friends, and they settle.
He didn't visit Boba Fett, though.
Did not visit Boba Fett. They go and visit some friends and offer themselves up to the New Republic on the DL as a bounty hunter, and that's pretty much the end of the season. So not really a lot going on there. It was very exciting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of action. No real stakes though, like except for, I mean, there are stakes. They could have lost. Somebody could have died. People did die in the previous episode. But it was all very
what it was, it just didn't pan out how you wanted it to pan out. That's what I'm learning right now. It just didn't pan out how I wanted it to pan out, which is fine.
You know what? That's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay, because what we got was a very exciting battle scene. We got some heartfelt moments, and it was good. It was okay.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was not absolutely fantastic. I could have dealt with it being a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's what I said about every episode that was that short.
I could have dealt with a little bit more meat to it, you know. I was really hoping there were going to be certain cameos in the show.
Like who?
I was really hoping we were going to get a Sabine Wren cameo.
No, she's been stuck on freaking Lothal all these times.
But you know what? A girl can hope, can't she? A girl can hope. But anyways, guys, so Joe, what are your overall feelings involving the show?
Oh, I love the show.
Yeah.
Like, this episode was just a little bit of a letdown because I let my head get in the way.
Is it possible that what we could be looking forward to with The Mandalorian next season is more of an episodic nature, kind of like Star Trek, where you can jump in anywhere? There's an overall story arc, but you can definitely jump in anywhere.
That's what I think they're going to go back to. Like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're going with it, where they ended it. I just don't know where they're going to go.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, that
would have been actually a good ending for the freaking series, really.
That would have been a great ending for the series.
But we know it's not the end of the series.
We know it's not the end of the series. Maybe this is one of those situations where we're also going to see him, because he's going to be dealing with the Outer Rim for the Republic. Maybe there's a possibility that we're going to see him running into Ahsoka and Sabine and all of them and what they do on the Ahsoka show.
I don't know. I
don't want it to turn into.
I don't like when things like that are like too convenient. It's a whole galaxy, man.
It's a whole galaxy. I'm thinking that there's connections though that you might see him, but I don't want them to do what they did with the Boba Fett show, where the Ahsoka show ends up being
2 episodes of Mandalorian.
2 episodes or more of Mandalorian. I want Ahsoka's show to be separate.
Yeah.
Than the Mandalorian. If he shows up and says, "Hey, nice to see you, Ahsoka Tano," you know, "Hey, Din Djarin, meet my friend Sabine. She's a Mandalorian as well." Yeah, that's fine.
That sounds so stupid. No.
It sounds really stupid,
but I mean, dumb.
But you know,
I accidentally ran across you, even though there's a million planets around.
But the thing is if Din Djarin is dealing with the threat of the possible, like, that the one dude is aware of in the Republic, if he deals with that threat and they're also dealing with the same threat,
we'll see.
It's quite possible that they're going to end up dealing with the same threat together at some point.
We'll see.
It's a mando-verse, and we'll see what happens. But
well, guys, that was a fun ride.
We got to talk about Star Wars, Mandalorian. We are now home, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to read some comics and probably watch some TV. And tonight, at like 3 a.m,
gonna watch Star Trek.
It's Picard. I'm finally caught up on Picard, y'all. I have been behind, and I finally got caught up on it, and I am absolutely excited to see that ending and see how they pull that shit together. I might have you wake me up for that one at 3 a.m, dear.
All right.
Okay? We'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. But thanks guys for going on a ride with us. We might do more stuff like this here and there where we're just, let's kill two birds with one stone and do the show while we're driving.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, thank you for joining us. This has been the officially unofficial Geek Channel.
And Bizarro Fett.
What's Happening Wednesdays with Carrie and Bizarro Fett Joe. And until next time, keep your eyes and ears open. If you see something, say something. And remember, the complacent never make a difference. Hear my keys jingle. Bye-bye.